The One Ring is tearing up every constructed format it is legal in. Being an easy to cast pseudo planeswalker protection spell that you only have to tap to draw a load of cards, it was quickly identified in Legacy to go along Paradox Engine. The concept is simple. Use artifact mana to ramp out the One Ring on early turns, draw a load of cards because it is hard for the opponent to remove it, and then use the more artifact mana that you draw from the One Ring to cast Paradox Engine to keep untapping all of your mana. As your One Ring will be untapped and you will keep drawing a ton of cards, you can sink all of your mana either into the one of Emrakul the Aeon's Torn or Karn to win the game. This list is very consistent and managed to top 8 the Mana Traders series in the past week, so I thought it would be perfect to try out for this video. To start the first round, I mulligan to 6 and we have an obvious turn 1 One Ring play. As we are in the blind, the opponent could have Force of Will, but they don't, so the ring resolves and we're about to wreak some havoc. After drawing a card and finding a defense grid, all we can do is pass back to the opponent and see what they're going to do. And with just a Delver of Secrets and passing back to me, I'm feeling pretty confident that we're going to win this game. Losing 1 life to the One Ring on our upkeep, we find a Mystic Forge, so the best thing to do is start by drawing 2 cards. Finding a Mox Opal and a Basalt Monolith, I decide here that the best play is to go for Defense Grid and Basalt Monolith so that next turn not only can the opponent not counter any of my spells because of the Defense Grid, but I'll have a lot of mana from the Basalt Monolith to try and combo kill them because we are going to be drawing a lot of cards. After passing back to the opponent, they brainstorm on their upkeep to make sure that this Delver of Secret flips. Now to make things even more scary, they Lightning Bolt my face and attack me for 3. Now this is relevant because of the One Ring. On our upkeep, we lose 1 life for every counter that's on the One Ring, so this damage can stack up quickly with Ancient Tomb and Delver of Secrets attacking me. Not only that, the opponent can have an additional Lightning Bolt in hand. So here I have a very tough decision to make, and I think for over 3 minutes. Here I do have access to 9 mana, so I could do something like Karn the Great Creator into Sky Sovereign to kill the Delver of Secrets, but I decide that I need to keep my Crystal Vein around. So I tap all of my mana, play Karn the Great Creator, get Walking Ballista from my sideboard, and use that to ping the Delver of Secrets to death. And I just have to pass and hope the opponent can't kill me here. But unfortunately, with a One Ring on 3 counters, and the opponent having a Lightning Bolt, we are almost definitely dead here because we'll die to the One Ring trigger. The opponent plays a Murktide Region, and we're going to die on our next upkeep. Wait a second. We have Inventor's Fair in play. This gains us 1 life if we control 3 or more artifacts on our upkeep, leaving us at 1 life so that we can survive with the One Ring in play. As we have to combo kill the opponent this turn, we have to draw with the One Ring, and we find 3 keys. These 2 Voltaic keys and Manifold Key will help untap our Basalt Monolith so we can add a ton of mana. That mana can be fueled into the Paradox Engine in our sideboard from Karn the Great Creator so that we can now untap our Basalt Monolith so many times, as well as our One Ring, so we can draw through our whole deck. This means that every time we cast a spell, not only do we untap the One Ring and get access to way more cards, we also untap all of our mana, making a ton of it. So here I'm just looking for either an extra Karn the Great Creator or Emrakul the Aeon's Torn, so I can use either Walking Ballista to kill the opponent, or just Emrakul to go out in style. I did find the Emrakul and the opponent concedes the game. Going into sideboarding, I want nothing, and this is because we have 4 defense grid already in the main, which is what we need to do to disrupt Force of Will. Leyline of the Void is not good against the opponent, as well as Dismember because Ragavan is banned in Legacy. This game too, I think, showcases how powerful the One Ring is. Going down to 5, we have a no-lander, so we have to go to 4. Now this 4 has a One Ring, an Urza's Saga, and a defense grid. After bottoming a load of cards, the opponent starts off with a Volcanic Island and passes back the turn. You could start with Ancient Tomb and defense grid here, but I think we instantly lose to Wasteland if the opponent has it, so I'd much rather play the Urza's Saga, and if they don't have Wasteland, rely on Constructs to win the game. With the opponent getting a Tropical Island and playing a Delver, I think it's highly likely that they have a counterspell. So here I want to waste their mana, so I'll just make 2 constructs with Urza's Saga to hopefully beat them down. With the Saga being sacrificed and having a Mox Opal and a City of Traders here, I'm trying to grow my constructs, so I play the defense grid. Here I did not play the Basalt Monolith because I want to play around Daze. It doesn't matter though because the opponent has Force of Will, so I just got to attack in and see what they're going to do on their turn. From here, the opponent attacks for 3, plays a Tarmogoyf, and with the City of Traders off the top, I'm going to cast my One Ring, which resolves and finds a Karn the Great Creator. I cast Karn, and the opponent loses the game. Now here, did we win this game because of the One Ring? No, but the combination of all the cards in the deck are so powerful that you should be mulliganing down to 5 and 4 aggressively to have fast starts. It is my duty to show you that it's easy to beat Delver, but also easy to win quickly. For the third round of the tournament I was in, I'm on the play game 1, and we have a turn 1 One Ring hand. This is an insane hand because we have a key, Mox Opal, Grim Monolith, going alongside the One Ring to make a ton of mana down the line as we draw more and more cards. So here I think it's obvious, turn 1, the One Ring, and then we draw a card and pass the turn. You might be wondering why I didn't play Mystic Forge, and that's because we don't have many 0-drop artifacts in the deck, so it's way better to draw 3 cards with the One Ring over 2 turns than play the Mystic Forge and potentially brick a couple times. With the opponent playing a mountain and just passing back the turn, we lose 1 life because of the One Ring and we untap. Here we have a lot of mana and access to a lot of cards, so I just play out my whole hand, get Karn the Great Creator down on the table, and lock up a kill next turn with a Lion's Eye Diamond from the Karn. I was putting the opponent on a very slow mono-red prison draw here because they could just have Ancient Tomb on their second turn to play a Goblin Rabblemaster, but I was surprised when it actually turned out to be mono-red Storm with a Rite of Flame to start their turn. Fortunately enough for me, they can't combo, so they eventually concede because Karn the Great Creator turns off all of their Lion's Eye Diamonds, Lotus Petals, and whatever cheap artifact mana they use to try and win the game. Going into sideboarding, I think it's quite simple. We're going to take out 3 Defense Grid and bring in 3 Dismember because they play cards like Burgi that are creatures that make mana when you cast spells. Going into game 2, we haven't got a great opening hand, but it's a keepable 6 that is probably too slow for the opponent because again they are a combo deck. To make things even worse, on their turn 1 they play a Ruby Medallion and draw a load of cards with their Lotus Petal and Galvanic Relay. With a Paradox Engine off the top, there's nothing else I can really do but play my Ancient Tomb and hold up Dismember for one of these Burgies to hopefully disrupt their draw. After passing back the turn, the opponent concedes, so we win the match. Overall, I thought this deck was extremely powerful. Being a new pilot to the list, I did make some mistakes, like specifically in this round, I bottomed Dismember in my opening hand, and the opponent killed me with the Collector Roof. If I played that differently, I definitely would have won. In the next round though, I managed to get Paradox Engine down, make a ton of mana, and cast Walking Ballista for X is over 20 to kill the opponent by pinging their face. But in the last round, I wasn't able to kill the Cephalid Breakfast player fast enough to fight through their Force of Will on my Mystic Forge and no other threats off the top, so I lost a close game 3, finishing at 3 wins and 2 losses. Overall, I thought this deck was really good, and if I have more experience, I definitely think I can put up a better result. As always, here's the Chess v Gambling Degenerates, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.